Hi, welcome to my channel, Psy Nutrition. Myself, Josephine, I'm a counselor, a psychotherapist, psychologist as well. The main purpose of me to, bring this channel is to bring the concerns and challenges which have not been spoken about, which have not come to the limelight, may have be, but to have more clarity on that. So today we are going to have Ms. Sejal Davey. She's basically a special educator and a parent coach. She's also a special educator, especially for dyslexic students, and she has a private clinic in the name of Just Bliss Through Happiness. She is an all-rounder, to be very honest. She has worked as a counselor, she has worked as a parent coach, she has worked at remedial teachers, and currently she's been put up with Madras Dyslexia Association, where she's been working as a resource person in their resource room. And also she has written 100 plus blogs and articles over the past 2 years. So today we are going to talk about like what special educator do, what a parent coach does, and what are the challenges faced by a special educator as well as the parent coach. What can be done through them, what kind of help you can gain from them, and how can you approach them. To get to know more about Sejal and for better and more clarifications, I have given her details in the description. You can have a look at it and get in touch with her. Sejal, what do you think about the lack of time in today's scenario? How do you think they can overcome, the parents can overcome?
Lack of times, like everybody is running, some like behind earning or some like settling their life, but giving time to child is required and it needs little bit of planning actually and priorities.
Okay.
Like if you are working thinking about the child's betterment, upliftment or anything, you need to just give some time of your day to the child. And it has to be broad. I mean, it has to be done. It is like no excuses, no reasons. It is like a most important priority. Parents need to understand nowadays is like.
So, like any kind of tip which you can give them, like how can they plan about, how can they prioritize, on what base they can prioritize?
It's the requirement, yeah. Like see, it cannot be like the ground rule for all the kids, all age level. The child at the smallest age, like toddlers and all, preschoolers, they need more of the parents' attention.
Yes.
So accordingly, that they need to give more time. Once the child is into teens, they have to just be conscious and careful what the child is doing. When they come up like adolescents, again they need to have like little more time to be spent with them, but not helicopter parenting or something.
Okay.
They need to just see what is happening. It's like you have to tell me where you're going. Not like that. Just have an information. You can see on their way of presence, or if they're doing something wrong, if they are out of way, their body language will tell you. So little bit of consciously have, like trust your child, but talk to them. Always when they become friends to somebody else, you realize I missed my child. Why I can't be my child's friend? Why did you miss that opportunity? So you need to have such plannings. Parenting is not easy actually. It needs lots of working. This is one among it. Have the timings. Give them time today, tomorrow you will get time from them.
Definitely. So what do you think about this general fundamental rules? Like moral values, just general one. Is it so important to teach them as a parent, or is it important to teach them as a special educator or parent coach?
General values and all, definitely if it comes from parents, it would be good. Like it is not like a course type where they have to make the child sit and keep on saying. No, on daily routine from the time the child is understanding what is happening, the conversations you do, you have to bring it out whatever it is required, how the child is supposed to behave, and you need to be consistent in your own behavior and in your own the way you are talking to them, you are telling them information. It has to be very consistent. Child can't understand, like today you are being nice or you are strict, tomorrow somebody else is walking in and child is behaving something, you will be like lenient. Child gets confused. Then that is why the child learns, okay, when somebody is around, my mom is different. When my mom is
that should not be
that happens. Then you suddenly shout on child, where are you going and learning? It's not going outside, it's learning from you.
Okay.
So all small things has to be just taken care of.
So if you being a mother, so what are the basic fundamental moral values you would teach your girl child?
First of all, I've always thought like what I was feeling that my parents would have told me.
Okay.
I want to teach my daughter, because these are all real life values. Nobody teaches us, not even the school, no teachers, nothing. It is a life experience, but which I feel it has to be taught in early days also. So those kind of basic values, like we have to stand for ourselves, always not looking forward on others, not blaming others for whatever. For them also, little small decision of not going school today or skipping tuition, it is big.
Yes.
Why do they want to take that decision? What is behind it? And if something goes wrong, they are not supposed to do, but still they are doing. Are they mature enough to take that on them? They are ready to accept. Okay, I have done. So something like that only. I always try to inculcate real life situations to my child.
And what are your thoughts upon this imbalanced life right now? Because with both the parents working, and do you think it's a balanced lifestyle or imbalanced lifestyle?
See, if they are working in shifts or in part times, like, or one parent is working full time, one parent is working part time, they are able to give enough time to the child, then it can be balanced. But if both are like techies into technique, then they have difficulties in giving time. When they come home, they'll be exhausted. So that relationship is affected. Definitely, that part is affected on the child. They won't be able to give the time, spend time. The child will be put on somebody else, so they will get closer to those caretakers, and they will have distance from their own parents.
Okay.
So it is imbalance only, right? Being a parent, it is their foremost responsibility to take care of their child.
I was about to ask, like, what if a parent is forced, like in a situation where they have both the parents have to work no matter what, when they have no parent support, and they have no choice, like maybe financial crisis, they have to work, both the parents have to work. If that is the case, so pre-planning of baby matters a lot.
Yes.
Isn't it? Suppose the baby is unplanned. It happens. So we are not doctors to prescribe or say any kind of suggestions. We are not authorized to do such things. But as a therapist, has expertise in our own field, we have the right, not maybe the right, at least some kind of tip which we can throw upon, some limelight to throw upon the parents who have unplanned babies. So what is your limelight to bring out the importance of pre-planning of baby, or if the baby's has come out to the world without planning, so what can be done in that case is to balance the life?
Right. See, though it is planned or unplanned, there will be some few weeks or few months in the parents' hand, would be parents' hand, to think about. So now, since like that might be a situation where both the parents need to work to have the financial balance in the family, and there are no elderly, like parents might be in the different city, they might be in the different city. But something they have to work on. They cannot just bring the baby or depending on the nannies. Right? Some kind of adjustment. Nowadays, the governments or the IT companies or any companies in that matter, they have extended the maternity leave.
Oh.
So that it was 6 months, now they have come up to 9 months also. At many places, they do 9 months. So 9 months is sufficient for a mother to have a good rapport with her child. Slowly, she can take up half a day, or she can be 3 hours earlier or 2 hours back home. Something like that can be fine. Got it? So something they have to work on it, where at least half a day the mother can be out and some caretaker comes in, or like father takes a shift, he goes 2 hours late. Something like that. Because initial connections, the child needs to reach certain developmental milestones. It can be done when there is parent around or a grandparent around. Some kind of little adjustment they have to. If that they does do it now, it would be really, really good and helpful for the child's betterment, the future, the upbringing of the child. What we say, nature and nurture.
Exactly. Okay.
Nature can be from genetics. Nurturing is what you're giving your child.
Great.
Nurture plays a very equally important role in any child.
Yes, definitely I agree to that.
Yeah. Because if child is completely left isolated, there are so much of chances of child, slipping into depression, stress. They might not have this kind of words to say, but the way of their behavior, getting detached from the parents, they will start, instead of mother saying something, they'll run to the nanny. If she says something, they will start doing it. So they have to think a lot.
So what do you think about the sudden behavior of aggressive behavior, be it with the parents or be it with the kids, as a parent coach? Like what would you say, like the reasons why, what are the reasons will be for sudden aggressive behavior or any aggressive behavior which comes from the child?
See, aggressive behavior generally is the result of frustration. Either let it be a child or a parent. Parents generally get frustrated because of their times, the working hours, extended hours, managing home and the office work, fulfilling certain duties if they are with their in-laws. So they get aggravated. They will be like towards the end of the day they are tired. They don't have energy left, but they are forced to do certain work, certain duties. So they get irritated. They take out their anger on the child. After a few certain days or repetitions, the child gets irritated. Why? What am I doing? I'm doing nothing. Still, my parents are coming and shouting. So they grasp that, and they take it out on their friends, on peers in school. So that will be shift in their behaviors in the school.
Exactly.
So that might be one reason. The second might be changes in the atmosphere, in the environment, or the growing child. Especially like the phase of teen to adolescence, even from that phase around 7 to 14 years, you can see changes in children. The way they behave, the way they carry themselves, the way they approach, there will be shift. That is like a nature of growing. The child is getting matured. In those times, it is how they are handled, how they are taken care of, how they are being given the affection. All these things definitely has an impact.
So as a parent coach, like what would you suggest if such aggressive behavior is seen in the child?
So, you should stop mocking or just not be asking what happened. Nobody will tell. Children don't know how to express what is going on within them. It's like spend more time. Talk to them about your childhood. Don't ask directly, but tell them, when I was of your age, I did that. Though I have not done that, but still to make him understand whether it was wrong, right, or he needs to change his behavior, I will say it as mine, and I'll say, see, my mother is like that. I was so scared. Good that you're not doing this. It's like not directly, but getting them conscious.
Giving examples.
Yeah, giving examples and all. So they'll be more happy. If you tell them directly comparing to their peers or their cousins, they don't like it, comparisons and all. But when you give it your example, maybe as a mother or father's example or grandparents or some X or Y, they like that. They will remember always. So that this will help, not immediately maybe, but after a certain period, you will find changes in the child. They will remember the stories. So slowly, you can calculate the changes in their behavior.
And in recent days, kids, not just kids, even the mothers, even the parents, including the kids, they are being labeled, they are being judged for sudden, change in the lifestyle or any circumstances where they are forced to do something. Say, for example, if the mother wants to go on for a trip alone, or just if the mother wants to go hang out with her friends, even if the couple wants to hang out alone, the kids have to be taken care. But when they're living in an inclusive of in-laws or just in-laws, even if a joint family, they are being judged. They are being labeled as not good parents. They are being judged. So what is your viewpoint about the judgmental attitude?
See, we cannot change the mentality of the people. Even though how well they dress up, how modernized they show themselves, but you cannot change what is that way of thinking. As a parent or a couple, if they need their time, I would better suggest that let them have a talk with the child itself. If the child is good enough, understanding enough, whatever the parents are always talking to, communication plays a role. So when they are able to talk to them, they can say, we need some time. Like when you go out to play with your friends, like that I need some time. I'll be back. I will certainly take you where I can, but some places children are not. So can I just go and come back? This communication, as a child can understand, okay, for some time my parents are going out, it's fine with me. If it's all on the way you put it. If you just say, no, I'm unlucky, I'm not allowed to go, you keep yanking, you take that frustration on your child, because of you I'm not able to go. This is not going to solve the problem. Just talk to your child. Just go out. Yeah, sometime we'll be back. If you could take you, we can. But the place is like where I cannot take you. But I'll be back in a while. But don't, substitute with some good big gifts and all. Don't spoil them. Communicate. Just talk. Yeah. Just talk to them. Child, definitely the way from the young age you're talking to your child will understand. So you need to know, that's all. That is how the parenting is.
Yeah.
Now you think when the child is like small, 2 years and all, you don't have to say. Communicate. Child, unless the child is deaf, child can understand. Though they will not express, but they will hear. So you have to be very consistent in your behavior.
That's the point. So Sejal, what do you think about the sudden or developing aggressive behavior with the parents, be it the mother or father, or be it with the child? So what do you think about it? What would be the major triggering factors for such an aggressive behavior?
See, for parents, like, working long hours, coming back home, fulfilling their duties at home, mothers come home and they have to rush to the kitchen. Then she gets tired. She's not able to give time to the child. So when child goes to the mother, like, to spend some time or calling her for playing, the mother is not able to give the time, and she takes sometimes, there are almost like possibilities of taking out the frustration of the child, the tiredness and all, in the way of shouting or telling them no or denying. This happens for quite a few days. The child learns from the mother. So child have that way because the child is not getting the love, affection, attention from the parents. So they develop that kind of aggression. They learn, and they take it out on their peers in school. So that is how they learn. So that might be one of the reasons. Other might be like, child wants to say something, communicate something, but they don't have words generally, or they are not being heard of many a times. So they tried somewhere, like suddenly they have behaved it and they have got all the attention. So now they bring it into the practice. They keep behaving, especially when there are guests or they have been taken out, you can see the child starts behaving even more aggressively to just get the attention of the parents. So this might be one of the reasons. So what parent has to do, they need to balance. Just before this you had asked for balancing in their life. Even this is the part of it. The child is not to be blamed, right, while the parents are working out. They don't know, they need that parents' time, attention, care, love. So they long for it for a whole day, and when they come home in the evening, whole day they'll be said your mother will come, your father will come, they'll spend time.
Yeah.
When they come back home, they are not able to give that time. So child is, feels like isolated or left alone. So these are the chances where the child have this such behavior. A calm child, changes into behaving very aggressively, throwing sudden tantrums and all those stuffs.
So what can be done to eradicate that?
The parents need to understand, they need to bring the balance. The child needs to be given care. If they are not able to do, at least with grandparents, if even that is not possible, they have to have night time together or a holiday. So the child will wait, okay, Saturday, Sunday, it's going to be my day with parents. So they need to find it out, but they don't have to substitute bringing in good gifts and all. It would be only like spoiling the child. The child will learn, okay, they are not giving me time. At that time, what the child will know? The child will get used to it. Whenever I ask for something, they'll compensate it with that time.
Exactly.
So they are only harming the child. It's not working out.
And what do you think about this judgmental attitude, like towards speech with the parents or speech with the kids? Say, for example, when a mother needs a timeout, everyone needs a timeout, especially who are bombarded with many household chores or work life, everything. So when the couple also need a timeout, when couple also need some space, privacy, they have been judged. Like they're not bothered about the kids. They're not bothered about their spending time with responsibility. So what do you think about that kind of judgment?
This often happens when they are in the joint families and all, where the couple or the parents, especially new parents, don't get their time. Or after certain years also, if they're always mothers especially, they don't get that time out, like going with their husband. It happens. So here, if the child is good grown enough, understanding, they can communicate with the child. Right? Or in-laws, they need to, maybe the wife is not able to speak, husband can help it out in that matter. And if child is understanding, 4, 5 or 5 years and above, They can directly communicate with the child saying that we need to go out, we have some work, we can't take you, but we'll be back in 2 hours. So something communication would be really good if it is straight and clear forward. The child will understand.
So how when you converse with a child is what is important.
Yes, it is always good. See, though the child is not reciprocating with their okays and yes or no's, but child always understands. So from the time why do the mothers talk when the babies are in the womb? Yes, the same thing. When the child is born, we just stop communicating. What all parents do is order. 90% would be only ordering. Do that, come here, go there. No communications only. Communicate with your child. Definitely they will
What do they
understand.
also need?
Yes, why are you expecting? Why are you talking to them? Why are you telling them? Give them that sense. It will work.
So often we have been hearing a lot of news about child abuse. Child abuse in general. Like what do you think? How can the parents, or what kind of from the parent coach perspective, what do you think? How can you protect the child himself or herself from abuse, or the parents? Like any kind of tip you can give?
Again, educating the child. It's like the thing that they don't talk. Many places,
Exactly.
They don't talk about difference in why it is a boy. That would be in superiority level in many of the homes you can see. Boy can't do that, girls can't do that.
Yes.
That is not. You need to educate. Start with educating them about their own body. We do parts of body.
Yeah.
At early age, right? At the same time, the other parts has to be spoken about.
Exactly.
Why it is different, girl and boy. It's nothing wrong. What the parents usually think, they are too early, young, and it's too early to explain that. That's wrong actually. It is their body, they need to know. That is where the sex education starts. Nothing wrong in educating your child. Why it is good touch, bad touch. Why they are not supposed to touch. As a mother, when you give birth, you touch. Then why a stranger is not allowed to touch? Child will be confused. So you need to tell them. And you don't have to see what happens why these children's they get tempted. You would have heard small children are getting carried away. That's when there is a small scene of a kissing or something on the TV, immediately parents react.
Yeah.
You don't see, or they shift. What did we do? The child will think what happened suddenly. So they have that urge of seeing it. So you should have just let it. Okay, don't react entire movie. That is just one part. So you need the way you react, the way you reach your child is all matters. And definitely when the child starts going to school, they should be spoken about good touch, bad touch, why the other person except the mother is not allowed. Not even father is allowed in that case. If the father is single, that would be a different way of conversation. Otherwise, why it is not? So the child will come to know, okay, except my mama, nobody is supposed to touch me. And give them that confidence. It's somewhere by accidental or something you feel. You will have a feeling.
Yes.
Someone is touching us, it's not feeling okay. You can come always and talk to me. Or whoever the child is close to, father, grandparents or anybody. Let them have that secret circle. You can tell them. So whenever I have something to say, I don't tell anybody, but I secretly either tell you, your father or something like that. So they'll have that confidentiality. So if they come and tell you also, Mama, today this teacher touched me, hear it. Let it be a tap, no problem. Don't ignore, see, it's nothing. Then they'll get confused, what am I supposed to talk about, what not. So give ears to your child. Always be ready to hear them. Whatever it is. So they will educate them, talk to them. Best thing for anything or everything I could say is only communicating to your child.
Okay. Anything.
The more you talk to them, the more you give them clarity, the real clarity, real talks, that age level, they will learn, they will understand.